Good evening and welcome to Kentucky Life in Jackson County. I'm your host, Brian Collins. You know, the number 421 is significant to the folks here. See, that's the number of the road from Richmond to Jackson County. And once here, you'll discover McKee, the county seat. And there's Anvil and Sand Gap and Tyner and Greyhawk and a host of other communities that just add to the charm of this eastern Kentucky county. Come with us tonight as we travel throughout Jackson County, where the mountains and the bluegrass blend.
If you don't believe that big things come in small packages, then you haven't been to Corner Quick Stop in Tyner. Corner Quick Stop at the junction of US 421 and 30 in Jackson County packs more into one little store than you'd think possible. There's gasoline at the pump, groceries by the sack, even movies and VCRs for rent. Not to mention Corner Quick Stop's specialty, 20 flavors of hand-dipped ice cream and delicious sandwiches from the deli. And don't forget to ask Randy about this week's crazy special. Corner Quick Stop, Tyner, proof positive that big things do come in small packages. Have you lost a handle on life? Blowing your chances? In the dark? D&W Electric in Greyhawk has the answer. D&W Electric is Jackson County's specialist in lighting and plumbing supplies. Contractors and homeowners alike come to D&W for the fixtures and advice they need. And because our prices are low every day, you never have to wait for a sale to fix a leak or brighten up your home. D&W Electric, 421 South in Greyhawk, bringing light and life to Jackson County.
Jackson County is an enthusiastic county, anxiously preparing for the 1990s. Don't let the slower pace of life fool you. These people are carefully preserving their past and thoughtfully planning the course of their future. One aspect Jackson Countyans can capitalize on in the future is tourism. Nestled in the Daniel Boone National Forest, Jackson County is a natural for those who want to get away from it all.
We're here at S Tree. And S Tree and Turkey Foot are our two recreation areas. S Tree is an old fire tower, so obviously it's on top of the ridge. And the fire tower has been torn down, and of course, people came here to picnic around the fire tower, and then gradually it just became a camping and picnic area. We've got a shelter down the road here where people come in for family reunions or just a family picnicking. Turkey Foot is down in the valley. It's along a stream. And it's a little bit wetter. I mean, the humidity is a little higher down there. We don't have the breeze like we have here. But it is, I think, a very attractive area. We have mostly horseback riding groups in that area, and family reunions will go down there in campers. Here it's mostly the off-road vehicle users, and they're usually going to the south toward the Rockcastle County. I see this area as being a repository of just real outstanding scenery for hiking, motor vehicle riding, horseback riding. We don't have the big draw like lakes and reservoirs and gorges, but the National Forest provides the opportunity for the trails people want to just get out in the woods, get away from other people. And I think eventually Jackson County is going to be a major hub for this kind of activity. Now the National Forest will basically provide the trails, and private homeowners and landowners can provide the dude ranches or the campgrounds for the groups and this sort of thing. We'll have some campgrounds, but we aren't going to be able to provide for everybody. So of course all this brings in income into the community.
The trail riding, I started about 10 years ago, and each year we ride this entire area. People from other counties come. We have get-togethers, have cookings, pig roast, whatever, you know, and people just rides and camps here and has a big time.
Progress seems to be Jackson County's middle name. They're in the midst of many county-wide improvements. Now, one of these is the new building for the People's Rural Telephone Cooperative.
For about 5 years, we had been planning to purchase new property, to build a new building. Since we'd been in this one since 57. This building was converted from an old garage, but it has served the purpose well, but we have outgrown it. we finally got our board together with the interest of our subscribers and have built a new building, which we feel like is one of the finest in town. We hope to move into the new building within the next 30, 40 days.
This month, the doors open on Jackson County's first nursing home.
The community is real excited and they're very supportive. This is the only nursing home in Jackson County. Most residents that need a place to stay in a long-term care facility have been traveling to surrounding counties, London, Barbersville. We've even had people that have come in from Middlesboro, Kentucky, where residents in Annville have been placed, Owsley County and Clay County. So this is a place where they can bring their families back and they can enjoy their last, you know, here at home where they belong. They don't have to, families don't have to travel, because most of the people that have residents that need to be placed are older themselves, and they have to travel for an hour or 2 hours just to visit with their family, and that shouldn't have to be. So with Jackson Manor, it's possible now to have their family here at home where they belong and enjoy their family and be able to take their family out for occasions such as Christmas and Thanksgiving and be close together.
Statewide, industrial development is on the minds of community leaders, and Jackson County is no different.
The Jackson County Industrial Authority was formed some 4 years ago to focus on attracting industry into Jackson County. And at the same time, an industrial park was identified here in Annville, and we have 107 acres of prime land with utilities already in place. And the 107 acres is platted off in from 5 up to 15 acres, depending upon what the requirement is. We were very fortunate in the fact that Mid-South decided to come this way about that same time. And Mid-South occupies the front 20 acres of that 107 acres. So lying directly behind Mid-South off of Route 30, we have another 80 acres or so that's ready for development.
Jackson County also has an active development association.
Mostly the association is interested in, I think, building community pride in our county cleanup efforts every year, as well as our state fair exhibit that we take to the state fair. We hope to promote tourism as well as industrial development here in the county, and it's a lot of good people working together to hopefully make it a little bit better here in Jackson County.
We'll focus on Jackson County's current business and industry when we return.
Customer Appreciation Days are going on now at Convenient Food Mart in Annville. Customer Appreciation means fantastic specials throughout the store on all your favorite items. Delicious fried chicken, specially prepared deli sandwiches, fresh produce, all those items you need in a hurry. At Convenient Food Mart, our selection and service will remind you of a large supermarket. But our self-serve gas and convenient hours are 2 more reasons you come to Convenient instead. Thank you, Jackson County, during Customer Appreciation Days at Convenient Food Mart in Annville. When you're the largest auto parts store in southeastern Kentucky, people are impressed. And when they learn that you've been open for 57 years, they know you treat your customers right. But the people of Jackson County will tell you it's the Cook Brothers name that sells auto parts. Cook Brothers Auto Parts mean quality in our name brand parts and our custom mixing of DuPont paints. And our 5 locations in London, Manchester, and Annville mean convenience. Cook Brothers Auto Parts. Our customers will tell you. The name means quality.
In a small town, people know each other pretty well, sometimes almost too well. But when someone dies, it's good to know that you have a friend close by who cares and who can help. Lake's Funeral Home in McKee, Annville, and Brea is that friend just around the corner. For 33 years, we've been there for the people of Jackson County, providing the type of service that we like to receive. We treat you like neighbors because that's what you are at Lake's Funeral Home.
Lake's Funeral Home, serving southeastern Kentucky since 1956.
Jackson County's down-home flavor and dependable workforce first attracted international clothing manufacturer Laura Ashley back in the early 80s. And since the summer of 1986, all the work from behind these modest blue walls has had the Laura Ashley label on it.
Presently, we're the only manufacturing company that they have in the continental United States. This could change in years to come as they grow and have a larger market share here, but we presently receive all of our fabrics, the trims, accessories from the warehouses in mid-Wales. Normally we're receiving weekly shipments that come through U.S. Customs and are then expressed up to us here and produce out of the fabrics that come to us. We had an arrangement where we did do our own cutting here in this facility up until the spring of this year when we began receiving pre-cut work after they had done a major conversion of the cutting rooms in Wales to a computerized operation. That lent them enough time to bring us online, and now we receive our work all as pre-cut work. There's a lot of pride, I think, in the area, and it does speak for itself in what we're presently manufacturing. I think that pride of product has been with the company since it originally began years ago making other types of products. But working for and now with such a recognized company kind of puts a plant like ourselves in a fishbowl. We know we're being watched, and because of that, the workers here in the plant, I think their family members, and as you talk to people in and around the community about Laura Ashley, most of what you'll hear is always good words and kind of a pride that the factory is in the area. When we first began producing for Laura Ashley in the early 80s, there was 12 retail shops. They now number about 170 in the continental United States. I think there's 12 or more in Canada, and we supply out of McKee part of the garments that are sold in those shops. The look, interestingly enough, is in the U.S. a U.S. accepted look. Worldwide, Laura Ashley has a variety of looks. But the look that I think is most predominant or most recognized here in the United States are the garments that kind of tend to take people back in time. They have more of a peasant quality appearance to them. There's a casual, easy lifestyle relationship, I think, in what they present in their garments. Many people know Laura Ashley by the garments, and it's a surprise when they discover that about half of what is sold in the U.S. and Canada has nothing to do with garments, but it's related to home furnishings, everything from ceramic tile to wallpaper, paints, lampshades, fabric by the yard, a variety of things like that.
Mid-South Electrics is one of Jackson County's newest and largest industries. With over 200 employees, Mid-South hopes to employ 500 when they reach full capacity.
Well, we're Mid-South Electrics, and we're a division of Mid-South Industries, which is located in Gadsden, Alabama, where our corporate office is. We are the only satellite division, and we have 2 facilities here in Kentucky. This facility in Anvil, which is in, obviously, Jackson County, and then we have our facility over in Manchester, which was really where the company began here in Kentucky back in 1968. A little bit of background about Mid-South Electrics. Jerry and John Weaver, the owners of the company, were raised in rural Clay County and started the business down in the Gadsden area in the early 60s. And as the business began to flourish, they felt that they would like to bring back some of that industry into to this area of Kentucky. So therefore the 2 facilities began in the late 60s. From the standpoint of the products that we build, we service the major appliance industry. We service sub-assemblies as well as total assemblies. Our customer base is General Electric out of Appliance Park over in Louisville, Kentucky, as well as the Bloomington facility up in Indiana. We have WCI as a major customer, which is located in Michigan, the refrigerator division, Newtone, Xerox, Tudor Toy, a new company located in Knoxville. So as you can see, we're very diversified. What we're looking for, we have a number of processes here in Kentucky that we do. We have injection molding, electronics department, metal stamping, and powder-coated painting. That we look for products that really use those processes. In addition to that, back in Alabama, we also have aluminum die casting and plating. So we can just about take any product and build it with each of these processes and give the customer back a tested, finished assembly.
From desk calendars to clocks, Kentucky Woodcrafts is known nationwide for their craftsmanship.
The company, it started out in Greyhawk, Kentucky, up until about 5 years ago, and then it moved to McKee. The company is owned by Kentucky Highlands Incorporated, and president of the company is Steve Ming, and it is a division of Casecraft Corporation. We produce wood walnut plaques, trophy bases, desk accessories for trophy dealers, and that type. The people that work here are craftsmen and do a lot of our custom work by hand. It's a lot, as you'll see when we go through the plant, it's a lot of hand operation. The quality of Kentucky Woodcrafts is known throughout the Trophy Dealer Manufacturing Association throughout the country, and its quality speaks for itself.
The Jackson County Rural Electric Cooperative serves 36,000 customers in over 7 counties.
Jackson County RECC furnishes electric service in basically 7 counties. These are Jackson, Rockcastle, Laurel, Clay, Owsley, Lee, and Estill. In addition, we get over into 8 other counties just a little bit. Our electric service, we think, is among the very best that you can find in both quality and the quantity we have available to meet the needs of our users. We plan ahead to be sure that we do have enough generated capacity to supply those needs, and we think the price is competitive. The last 14 consecutive years, we have had the lowest cost per consumer per year of providing electric service of any rural electric cooperative in the state, despite the fact that we're up here in the mountains where the problems up these hills, clearing right-of-way and such things, are greater than they are in some places. But the variable cost, that is the costs of such as operations, maintenance, billing and collecting, this type of thing, ours has been the lowest for 14 years, and I'm extremely proud of that.
Family-owned and operated businesses are characteristic of Jackson County. C.M. Carpenter began his trucking company in 1946 with 1 vehicle.
We've got 73 trucks now, and it's always been a family operation. My wife and daughter's the bookkeepers, and we've run it here, and I've got a good crew to help me run it. And we haul road material, and it's asphalt and sand, stone, and liquid asphalt. And on the road we haul, we work in Jackson, Clay, some in Owsley, Laurel, Rockcastle, Boyle, Lincoln, Madison, Clark, and Lee County some, and Leslie County, Knox County. About a 12, 15 county area around here. There's been a lot of hard work in it, and we've got a lot of men that's put a lot of hard work in it too. We've got one man in here that's been with me since 1950, Ray Lakes, and he's quit a few years and come back. He's probably been here over 30 years. And we've got several drivers been here. A man's been since 60 and 61, and 2, one since 58. And my brother, he takes care of the trucks. He runs the trucks for us, and he does a real job at that.
Timber is one of the county's natural resources that employs many of the hard-working residents. We spoke with Jimmy Wells of the Jackson County Lumber Company.
Well, my grandfather and my dad started it back in the 50s, and I don't know, we just carried on ever since. I went to school at Anvil Institute, and I got out about 2 or 2:30 of the evening. That gave me a chance to come on up here of the evening and work at the mill, you know, and I just got interested in it and liked it, and just decided to stay on and try to keep working at it, you know, and keep it going. Well, I usually try to buy boundaries of timber and bring it in, log it ourselves. We got our own man that logs it and bring it in, and then we just saw it in the lumber and put it out in the stack. You know, if we've not got a sale for it right then, we stack it. But I like to move as much of it as I can right from the mill, you know, so I won't have to handle it and not have as much labor involved in it as possible. But if it don't move right when you saw it, then we just take it out and put it in the stack and let it air dry and then wait for somebody to order it. I just enjoy the outdoors. I've thought about maybe quitting at times, getting into something else, but I like the outdoors and I wouldn't want to work in a factory or anything that way, so I enjoy it, and I enjoy being able to work for myself, you know, rather than working for somebody else. So I enjoy it and want to try to keep it going if I can.
Community services in Jackson County when Kentucky Life continues. Fast, friendly service, and up before the sun. It's yours 7 days a week at Shell Food Mart. Shell Food Mart has good food in a hurry, from fresh deli sandwiches made from quality Eckrich meats to delicious pizza dripping with cheese. On your way home or on your way to work, it's easy in, easy out, easy to find whatever you need. And to keep you going, quality Shell gasoline at the pump. Shell Food Mart on 421 South in McKee, also in Beattyville and Jackson, where you make the difference.
Jackson County is seeing things more clearly.
Beattyville and Jackson, where you make the difference.
Jackson County is seeing things more clearly now, thanks to C&W Cable Incorporated in Anvil. C&W Cable has been bringing television to the mountains of Jackson, Clay, and Laurel counties for over 23 years, providing the highest quality channels to areas where television can't be taken for granted. And we don't take our customers for granted either. C&W Cable supports Jackson County and is proud to be of service to them. C&W Cable Incorporated, Anvil, providing the finest in television to the finest folks around.
Of the wonderful, loving people of Jackson County. Our church will celebrate its 50th year soon, and we'd like for you to come and be part of our celebration. Sunday school is held each Sunday at 10 a.m. with worship services at 11. Sunday and Wednesday evening services are at 7. We invite you to come and worship with us and join in our fellowship.
An early sign of progress in Jackson County was the establishment of the Anvil Institute. From 1914 to 1978, the settlement school contributed to the community, and that tradition is continued today by Jackson County Ministries.
Okay, we have about 4 main programs, and I think an easy way to remember is the 4 M's. We have muscles, we have volunteers that come work in the immediate area of a 50-mile radius of Anvil on substandard housing for older people, people who need some help and so forth. These volunteers come from all over the United States to help us. It's related somewhat to the Habitat for Humanity, which President Carter was involved in. The second M that we have is well, we call it our Bible camp programs. It's to help youngsters learn a little bit about the Bible, learn how to get along with each other and so forth. We have about 500 children involved in that program. And other program is our Nippon program, which is a program that we use in cooperation with the Honda Corporation and the YMCA. They have a number of these programs throughout the United States. And the purpose of it is to keep junior high kids in school. And it runs during the school year. We have from 20 to 25 youngsters involved in that program. They come to us by recommendations of principals, school counselors, and so forth. Our success ratio with these kids is quite impressive. About 85% of the kids that go through this Nippon program graduate from high school. We also have a program that we run in cooperation with the Commonwealth of Kentucky. It's an emergency shelter for children who are within the court system for some reason or other, either out of parental control or status offenders of one kind. And these youngsters come to us and are here with us for all the way from a couple of weeks to 3.5 months.
Another active ministry in Jackson County is the Christian Appalachian Project.
This year, the Christian Appalachian Project is celebrating 25 years of service in eastern Kentucky, and Jackson County was one of its original counties. Father Biden came down here in 1950 to establish parishes in 4 counties, and Jackson County was one of 4. Garrett County, Madison County, which includes Berea, and Rockcastle County were the other three. So he established St. Paul's over here in the 1950s. And as his ministry grew, which included used clothing and emergency assistance, his ministries grew to other projects as well. And that included economic development. In Jackson County, he began a dairy farm over here, not far from Greyhawk. And he also had a floral or a greenhouse started for wholesale to retailers. He started a greenhouse and a woodworking shop, and they were on the same dairy farm.
Currently, the project manufactures Christmas wreaths, crosses for Easter and Memorial Day, plus birdhouses and bird feeders.
We purchase raw materials from a local sawmill, and we have people that make those from rough lumber. We plane it down, saw it up, and put it in dimensions for making the birdhouses. And I think this past year we made something like 9,000 birdhouses, I think. Every bird in the United States has a house, almost. Through our marketing department, we market these things and we sell them to hardware stores, to the state parks, to individuals, and we have some of these in Disney World. Has got display of our birdhouses and our bird feeders, and so we're pretty well cover the entire East Coast with them.
Appalachian Communities for Children is a group of local citizens trying to meet a variety of community needs.
Well, Appalachian Communities for Children started in the early 1970s. Basically, what they did in the early years of their existence was to run 3 preschools. And in 1984, the preschools moved out to a more central location, which left our community centers pretty much empty. So we started looking around for different programs that we could run in the community centers. One of the first programs we had was in the summer of 1984, which was a recreational program for children. Shortly after that, we got involved in adult education.
All of ACC's programs are education-oriented, from teens to senior citizens to children with learning disabilities. They are dedicated to making a difference.
Yeah, I think we're making a fantastic difference in Jackson County. Just in adult education, when you have 200 more people with a high school diploma, that's not only increased potential for employment, but that's also 200 people who are then carrying that tradition on with their own children and feeling more comfortable in being able to encourage their children to finish school, being able to help them with schoolwork and that sort of thing. I know last year in our high school tutoring program, we only had 4 seniors in the program, and all 4 of them graduated, and that was a wonderful feeling, especially when they said that they wouldn't have made it without our help. And that was, I think that's, you know, if you can touch one person's life, it's really important, and I think we've touched a lot of lives.
The Jackson County Committee on Aging serves the community's senior citizens.
Our program was designed first to bring people into the center for social life so they wouldn't become bored and dull at home and go into nursing home as a place for companionship. But once they have lost their companions and not much at home to look forward to, we transport them into the center. They can stay here from 9 to 3. They get a hot meal, they play games, they crochet, they quilt in the winter, and they just have a great time here at the center of the day. When they get home, they're tired and ready to relax, and they're comfortable, and they're not bored and think of themselves as elderly and sick. They have something to look forward to each and every day. And so we feel that our program keeps our people out of the nursing home longer by it being in the county. However, we're real excited about our new nursing home that has just been put up in Anvil for those that no longer can do at home and no longer come to the center. But as long as they're able to be at home, we're out there helping them.
The Jackson County Public Library is centrally located to meet everyone's needs.
We're located right on the corner of Main and the Courthouse Square. And we have all kinds of different services we offer to the public. Anybody that comes in, really, you know. And we have, in the summertime, we have a children's reading program for the kids when they're out of school that they come in. And this past summer, we had 47 kids participate in that summer reading program, which that was a real good number for this county. And we have prizes that we give them, you know, for the one that reads the most books. And then we have a drawing that everybody that comes in puts their name in, and one kid, you know, gets a prize for that. And we just, we have people, like as you see, it's been in here this morning doing genealogy work. And they come in to look at the census records. We have census records on microfilm from, I think, back 1858 when the county was formed up to 1910. And we just have, we have a lot of high school kids that come in, you know, when they're doing term papers. And we do a lot of help for them. We're open in the library here Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 4:30. And on Saturday from 9 to 1. And the bookmobile, it goes all over the county. Like it runs every 2 weeks, and it goes to the different houses. You know, it stops anywhere anybody wants it to stop at. And it also goes to like the nursing home and the manor where the older people, you know, are, and senior citizen centers. And just anybody that wants it to come, well, they just call the library and she'll stop at their house.
Established in the early 1900s, the Jackson County Sun has a circulation of over 4,000.
We're a community newspaper, and we like to cover community events, the local life, and the nature of the local people. And we try to do people features and cover local meetings, local government events, local businesses, and we really enjoy our work. I enjoy the people a lot, and they're very fine folks, and I like the natural beauty of the county, and I like the positive attitude that the people here have and the spirit of volunteerism that the local people have, and you know, I think Jackson County's going places.
Next, we'll profile lifestyle in Jackson County when Kentucky Life continues.
There's no place like home, your home. That's why the folks at Greyhawk Building Supply carry everything you need to make your home more your own. Greyhawk Building Supply is Jackson County's home building supply specialist, providing a complete line of supplies for the professional contractor and the do-it-yourselfer. From paint and hardware to windows, doors, and lumber, Greyhawk Building Supply carries all the tools to make fast work of your home. So if you're building a new home or trying to make your old home more new, remember Greyhawk Building Supply in Jackson County.
At Jackson County RECC, our power is our people. 7 counties strong: Jackson, Owsley, Rockcastle, Laurel, Clay, Lee, and Estill. 36,000 rural customers, over 4,600 miles. The 4th largest electric cooperative in the state of Kentucky. Over 50 years of service to the people of southeastern Kentucky in both business and community efforts. Jackson County RECC. Our power is our people.
Summertime picnics just aren't complete without those summertime fixings from Superior Foods in McKee, like quality Pepsi products, 12-pack cans just $2.49, and JFG salad dressing, a 32-ounce jar just 69 cents. Make the perfect sandwich with Fisher's Bologna, 1-pound pack, $1.09, or try Fisher's hot dogs, 12-ounce package, only 89 cents, and complete the meal with Kern's hot dog buns, 89 cents for the 12-pack, and Gordon's potato chips, 7-ounce bag, just 89 cents. We're your summertime specialist, Superior Foods, McKee.
True to its eastern Kentucky heritage, Jackson County is home to many artists and craftsmen. And the hand weavers at Brockman Weavers have continued an Appalachian tradition that is 2 centuries old.
I went to school at Berea in the academy, and they have a work program. Every student must work. So my job was to learn to weave, and that was in 1929, but don't figure too much. And I did weaving then for 3 years. and I took weaving as a class. I like to continue it, so I learned to come up with patterns and this sort of thing. But how come we to get started at Anvil Institute? One of the Sunday school teachers came to our house to visit, and there were some pillows on the couch in a pattern, and she said, "Oh, where did you get these?" I said, "Well, I wove them when I was in high school." So they found out that I could weave. And the nurse at the institute was retiring, but she wanted to stay on the campus. So I said, well, I'll help her get started. My children were in school by that time. So we took the looms out of the attic where they'd been, 15 of them. They'd been there since Depression days. The school didn't feel they could keep a weaving program going, buying thread and this sort of thing. So we got them down and put them together and started. That was in 1948. And I haven't stopped since. Our work is recognizable many places. Someone in New York went into a store and asked the merchant, where did he find his rugs? And he said, in the South, Tennessee, I believe. He said, would you look? I believe it's Kentucky, and they were our rugs. They were different than anybody else's. Not each woman over there, they have learned to mix color. I was an art teacher for some time, and of course, everybody just tries to do the best they can with what they have or can get, but still, they have all learned to do, I think, remarkably well. I don't like to see anything put on the market with our name that isn't as good as what had been sent in to be judged by a standards committee. They know that, but they're the type of people who like to have things well done too. They know that if it doesn't look just right, that the best thing to do is to take it out right then and put it back in again.
Louis Gay is known throughout Jackson County for his handcrafted fiddles and banjos.
Well, I've always liked to work with wood when I was a small boy, even younger than a teenager. I started whittling with a knife and cutting, making little things out of wood. So I started off by making one out of a gourd like you grow in the garden. Dried out, cut off the top, put a little flat cover over it, made a little simple neck, very simple, and put it in that, and put some little wire, made my strings out of wire. Took and cut the hair out of the old horse's tail and made me a little bow out of a stick and tied the hair to it, and that's my bow. I learned to play Yankee Doodle, so you know what it was. And that's the beginning. And then later I got acquainted with a man in Lexington, and he's a violin maker and a retired barber. So I got interested in it, and he showed me how he did it, and I just took off and been doing it ever since. Of course, it's a hobby with me. I'm not in the business. I like to do it, and I make them for pastime. Somebody wants them, we sell them. I love it. It's good. It's the best pastime I've ever had.
For 15 years, Linda Fifield has been perfecting her leathercraft.
Living here in Jackson County has really allowed me the opportunity to be close to nature, which I have been all my life, so I continue that lifestyle. We've built for ourselves a log workshop and studio that we took the trees from our land. It took us 5 years to build our location, and we really feel fortunate to have it. It is an inspiring location for me as far as being able to be creative. Some of the things I make are a range of women's accessories. I do belts, I do beadwork woven on a loom that is worked into buckles, beaded buckles. I do handbags, backpacks. I do leather teddy bears. I do a collection of Kentucky wildflowers made out of leather, some other beaded jewelry. I used to do custom-made moccasins in the past for adults. Now I only do baby moccasins. I do briefcases. I do just a wide range of products. Most anything I can think of, I try to do with leather. My next projects will be woven baskets. I was around people who worked with their hands all the time in my family. Both my mother and my grandmother were craftswomen who created quilts, crocheted lace, and worked with their hands. So I was exposed to that as a child. And the person I admired most was my grandmother, so I think from her I got the desire to be a craftsman.
Mabel Davis expression of her Eastern Kentucky roots.
Well, since a child, I've always loved art, and I wanted to paint, but I just felt like I couldn't do it. I had an older sister that was an artist, and I remember my mother had a little scrapbook that she had made. She liked drawing and things like that too. And then after my children were grown, my son was gone to college, and the summer that our daughter married, I went to Easy Creations over in Richmond and took a few art classes. And from there I just picked it up, and once I got started, I just couldn't quit. I really enjoy it. I have several favorites. I've got one that's Uncle Hobart's Old Blondie. I guess that might be my favorite. And then the one that I done just recently, I don't have a print made from it yet, but I would like to as soon as I can afford it, of my Uncle Hobart and Old Julie. That's his other mule that he uses in his wagon with Old Blondie. And I especially like the one of my grandparents, too.
We asked if she was surprised by her success.
Yes, it really does, because when I started painting, it was just something that I wanted to do just for my own benefit. And then when I started painting for other people, then really they would tell other people, and then they would tell somebody else, and that's kind of how it got started. And then I started, I would see ads for competition, so I entered some of those. And I take the Artist magazine, which has been a lot of help to me, and it had a little notice in there that you could send some slides in to be juried for the Encyclopedia of Living Artists in America. So I sent some slides in for that, and I thought it wouldn't hurt. And come to find out, they chose Old Blondie to be in the 3rd edition. And then when they started to get ready for the 4th edition, I got another application, and I sent some more slides in. And in the 4th edition, they're going to put the painting of my Grandpa Dooley, which the title is just Pa, because that's what we all called him.
The detail of Bart Angel's woodwork shows how his lifetime hobby.
Well, I started off with this pocket knife and a piece of cedar, you know, and now I use routers, more high-tech tools, you know, kind of advanced to this stage. I make freestanding, three-dimensional carvings, you know, animals, people, and I make other things of cars and kit-type things, and jewelry boxes, shells, candle holders, just whatever somebody happens to want at the time, you know. That's a good feeling, really. I can look at some things sometimes and I think, well, you know, I really made that. Sometimes, you know, you can surprise yourself. But that's something anybody could probably do if they just took the time and energy. You have to want to do something to do it. That's the main thing.
These beautiful corn shuck wreaths and flowers are the handwork of Darlene Hellard.
I love crafts, and my aunt had watched on KET how to make the flowers, and she showed me how. And my mother-in-law worked for the extension office, and she learned how to make the wreaths, and she showed me how. I started making those for Christmas presents, and then everybody liked them, so I just stayed with it. It takes a while. Yeah, I order mine. They come in a bale like tobacco or something like that. I have to wet them, dye them, let them dry out. Then you cut them, and you have to use a curling iron and curl them all up. And it's a long process. I have some in Berea, too, at the store, the craft stores down there. And then I give them for gifts, and different people buy them for their family for gifts. I enjoy having it, knowing that it's in different people's homes. I have some in like New York and some different homes. It makes you feel good to think your things are there.
Next, Life on the Farm, when Kentucky Life in Jackson County returns.
Carpenter Trucking is traveling them. Carpenter Construction is paving them, the roads of Jackson County.
For 43 years, Carpenter Trucking and its fleet of 65 trucks has been Jackson County's only commercial transport company. Blacktop, gravel, and liquid asphalt are delivered in our 8-county area to both private and commercial customers. Carpenter Construction is paving Jackson County too in state road construction projects and area driveways. The roads of Jackson County are our roads to success. Carpenter Trucking and Construction.
Do daily savings of up to 40% sound good to you? Then drive a little and save a lot at Save-A-Lot in McKee. Save-A-Lot specializes in low grocery prices every day with savings of up to 40% on everything store-wide. Stock up now on Coke products while 12-pack cans are only $2.19. And keep those sandwiches coming with Fisher Bologna, 1-pound package, just $1.29. Just look for the dot that says Save-A-Lot. Save-A-Lot, 421 South in McKee.
When you're faced with the death of a loved one, compassion and consideration become very important. That's why Jackson County families depend on Justice and Hearst Funeral Home in McKee. Justice and Hearst Funeral Home has served Jackson County since 1973, providing the compassionate care and service needed during such a difficult time. With 2 of the largest chapels in the area, ample parking, modern facilities, a lady attendant, and a warm, efficient staff offering the new Sunset Security pre-planning, Justice and Hearst Funeral Home proves that caring is what we're all about.
Jackson County is primarily a tobacco, beef, and dairy cattle county. Now, George Purcell operates Jackson County's largest Grade A dairy.
Well, we started the farm in 1964. Started with a small dairy operation. We milked in cans, and we moved into this building in 1968, went to Grade A dairy, and we've just kind of progressed slowly ever since. We then was the Christian Appalachian Project. I worked for the Christian Appalachian Project for 14 years and helped to build this farm. And in 1978, I bought it out, and I've been operating it on my own ever since. Well, we've got a total of over 400 head of dairy animals. We have about 220 head of milking cows. The rest are heifers that are coming on, the younger stock. And we're only milking in through the summertime about 170 right now, and we're shipping around about 8,500 pounds of milk a day. It's been a gradual building and improving the herd. We've used artificial insemination since 1964, and we have a fellow who comes in with a computer and mates our cows so that these daughters will have better genetics than their mother, and to try to breed out the faults that the mother has. And we are on official production records. We have a computer here that feeds our cows. And these things have all progressed slowly over the years. We haven't made any huge steps, but it's grown.
Dale Madden is another Jackson County farmer who has built a large enterprise from the ground up.
Well, we developed into quite an operation, I guess, for this area. We started out with about 90 acres to start with, and we're operating now about 700. When we started out, I'll never forget it, it was right at the end of the chicken area. We started out with laying hens, and we didn't show any profit. We tried that one year and we quit. Then we went into hogs, and we tried that for 3 or 4 years. Made a small profit as we go in with hogs. And then we went into, tried some steers, and they did pretty well. But really, when we got started, we started with cow and calf plant, and it's been more profitable. We've been in the cow and calf plant now for some 35 years, and it's been pretty nice.
One outstanding organization designed to help local farmers is the Chain of Life. Over 50 families have been helped. Rita Banks explains.
We started about 6 years ago, and it first started out with a group of concerned farmers and the agriculture agents, the high school education teachers, and we had some help from Save the Children Federation by the means of not as much money as they loaned us a guy that knew the ropes to help us out, you know, to help us get started. We found out different funding sources and applied to these sources, and Heifer Project International was the first person that we contacted. We waited over a year before our first shipment arrived. At that time, our first shipment of cattle it seems small, but it was started out with 3 Holstein dairy cows. Of course, those Holstein dairy cows now have granddaughters on the ground, and they're still within the project. So we're proud of those people. They've kept, by giving back a female, we always keep this chain going, and we don't ask that much of them. We're for the working people that want to help themselves, that we want to help.
Mona and Junior Jewel were helped by the Chain of Life.
Well, when we bought the farm, we couldn't afford the animals, you know, because of the mortgage payments and all like that. So we read about the Chain of Life in the paper, and it sounded really interesting. They were helping people just like us, you know, that couldn't afford to get started or to build up the herds. So we went to a regular monthly meeting and found out about the requirements of it. We applied for a dairy cow because of the milk, you know, for the family and everything. And so they come and checked our place and found out that we had the right amount of pasture and adequate housing and water and all like that. And we had to wait about 6 months because they depend on donations. This is not government run, you know. This is not a handout or anything like that, you know. They depend on other people helping them. And the way the Chain of Life works is that if you do receive the animal, you receive a female, and a breeding age or that is already expectant, and you give back the first female that is born, and it then at breeding age is given to someone else. And this is continued on in a pattern like this to help other people. So it keeps right on helping others.
And we like it over here. It took us a long time to get this place. It took us over 2 years to get it. A lot of praying, a lot of sweating, a lot of running around the different banks, but we got it. We're happy here. And the Chain of Life is really good. I mean, if you just get involved, it's really good.
Before school ended this spring, we talked with Betty Bond, the principal of Jackson County High School.
Jackson County is a 4-year high school. We have 9th through 12th grade. We have, of course, your core curriculum, math, science, English, social studies. And then we have some vocational offerings. And so we strive to meet the need of students who are going to go straight into the world of work when they get out of school, as well as those who are going to go on to college. And we have an increasing number of students who are going on to college, which pleases us a great deal. We have excellent staff at the high school, and our philosophy is that education exists for the students. And that's our job then here, is to meet the needs of those students. And as in any high school situation with teenage children, you have lots of different factors involved. And we try to take all those into account when we deal with them in the classroom, or when we discipline them, or when we give them awards. And we try to give a lot of awards and recognize students for the positive things that they do. I could talk about each department, starting with art and going through vocational, and tell you strong points about each one. Our art department, our students this year have entered several different competitions, and they have placed district and region, and they've gone to the state, but we haven't had anyone place in state competition. Also, hopefully we'll look at the prom decorations later, and our art teacher uses her art students for a 6-week unit in which they decorate the gym, and they turn the gym into a wonderland of some sort. And this year's unit is Sleeping Beauty, and you'll be able to see lots of different things. And we're incorporating the speech classes. We have open house this Friday for the prom, and the speech classes we usually have 2 grade schools who bring every student in. And the speech classes will be telling the story of Sleeping Beauty and then going in and showing them the different things in the prom, so they work together on that. Then we have vocational department, which is very good in clubs, FHA and FFA clubs in that, and they excel every year. They go to region, state, and even national competition, and we have had winners at national level, so we're very proud of them. Our vocational classes, we have one teacher who has built 4 rooms addition for the high school with his special ed and financially disadvantaged students, and they've done an excellent job. My teachers are very eager to bring in something new and to try something innovative to help students. And we're not just aiming to improve test scores. We would like to improve test scores, but our main aim is to improve the grade of the child and to ensure that he understands the concepts that are covered.
More of Kentucky Life in Jackson County when we continue.
When a senior citizen finds that life alone is difficult, Jackson Manor is there to make group living easy. Jackson Manor in Annville offers seniors from Jackson and surrounding counties recuperative retirement care in beautiful surroundings. Teal and rose furnishings, large sunny rooms, formal dining areas, and artfully landscaped gardens. Contact Dorothy Anglin, administrator, and see how enjoyable life can be at Jackson Manor, located on Highway 579, just 1/8 mile off Highway 30 in Annville.
The people of Jackson and Owsley counties have a lot to be proud of these days. Their telephone cooperative, the People's RTCC, has experienced growth worth bragging about. Since its inception in 1953, the People's RTCC has grown from 300 subscribers to an impressive 5,100 members. And their new headquarters in McKee is a symbol of that growth. Maybe their success is partially due to the fact that the phone company is their company, owned and operated. The People's RTCC, where the people are the key to our success.
We hope you've enjoyed our profile of Kentucky life in Jackson County. And as this eastern Kentucky county strives toward the future, we really wish them the best. I'm Brian Collins. Good night.